We got the furry one. Hello,
Yes.
furry one. How are you?
He's very confused
Yes.
as to why we have lights. We don't have any colored lights. Should I get a colored
Nah,
light?
we're good. We don't
Okay.
need colors. Well, hola,
Hi.
welcome back, or welcome in general.
Welcome in general.
Oh, it's not.
They don't know who
Oh,
we are.
they don't. I'm already getting off to a beautiful start. I'm intoxicated. Welcome. I'm
Welcome.
Donovan,
I'm Janice.
and this is.
A candid conversation.
See, we're working on it, but we're getting somewhere.
Candid, casual. Tell me your
And
vote in the comments below, please and thank you.
candid, casual. Can we just have like both at the same time?
A candid, casual conversation.
Yeah. Candy casual
C3.
conversation. C3. That sounds like an energy drink.
Actually, isn't it?
I,
No, that's C4.
oof,
That's C4. That's your
C4.
energy. That's the pre workout you use.
Is it? That's not good if I do use that.
You do.
No. I just read somewhere that it's like really not healthy.
It's not.
Why am I using it?
I don't know.
Somebody help me. Put
Please.
me on some good ones. Because obviously I don't care about my health as much as I thought I did. I really
Mm,
didn't.
what a shame. Um, but yeah, we should probably tell you a bit about who we are, other than just our names,
Hmm.
so that way you can understand our perspectives. Because as you hear these candid, casual conversations, you may start to judge us a little bit. And so, I just want to let y'all know where we coming from, who we is.
And what we stand for or sit down to. Hmm.
Period.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Guess so. So I'm Don. I am 27, hailing from Washington D.C. 202 is our area code. Most people don't know that, surprisingly. So I work in the school system. I'm the assistant to the director of the Department of Procurement. I'm a nerd. I like video games, music, and movies and anime. But I'm not your everyday nerd. I got a little bit of flavor to me. Like, the flavor packet from the noodles. Just throw that shit on there real quick. That's about me. I don't want to get too deep because, I got to share the space. So
Thank
go ahead,
you.
baby.
Stop playing. He's playing footsie with me, everyone. You can kind of see it down there. I don't know if you can see it, but he's playing
Look, why
footsie
why are
with
you
me.
saying that? Like, I was winning until you said something. Jeez.
Anyway, hi. I'm Janice Cheyenne. I am originally from San Bernardino, California. I typically tell people Los Angeles because, hey, SoCal people, outside of SoCal, nobody cares. They know LA and they know San Diego, and that's it. So we might as well pick one. And oftentimes I pick San Diego because I went to college in San Diego and it is better than LA. I said it. Fight me about it. I don't care. Anyway, after moving a few times, I have now landed in Washington, D.C. Um, actually, just outside. We love PG. We love Pretty Girl County.
Yeah,
I'm just happy, they let me
I'm from DC.
in.
I'm not one of those people that say I'm from DC and I'm really not from DC. No,
He's
I
actually
really
from
am.
DC.
So like, I love y'all PG, but
Yeah. I'm
anyways,
okay with urban PG. I like it here. I am an educator, and ugh, yeah, yeah.
what is up with the
Ugh.
shutter? She hit the. Oh my god.
I mean, anybody that knows a little bit about what it means to be a teacher in 2024 should know what I'm talking about. You all know the children that are out here. You know what's up,
Hmm.
and we in the trenches every day, every
Yeah,
day.
I'm not gonna lie. They got flashbacks of ungraded papers. The little kid that just won't pay attention in class, or that parent that just doesn't know what's going on, even though they keep on calling. Hmm.
You gonna act like this city is not overran with 12-year-olds in ski masks and
Hey,
tell me that I'm complaining about papers? Don't play with me. Don't
Look.
play with me. Don't play with me. Because y'all know that these kids these days is something else. It's not just the grading papers and the parent complaints. It's not just that. Some of these children, some of these children y'all raising, older millennials, some of these children y'all raising, older millennials, don't get me started. Because I can do a whole episode on it. And we will one day.
I'm gonna come
One day when
to
I'm done teaching, because up until then, I'm not giving you my actual thoughts because I may get fired, and that's not great.
I'm going to come to the defense of the young Knicks. Ski mask. There's a fashion statement. Now, if you will understand the complex fashion designs of this local geometric area
Of the
called the
Negro.
no, the Negro is not a local geometric area. God dang it, that's a
I
person.
didn't know you meant local area. I thought
Yeah,
you
I
just meant
know.
local.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Hey
also,
yo.
I'm not even coming at y'all crazy because that's
Oh
part of the reason
shit.
why I moved here and I actually really like it here because this is the first time I've ever lived in a majority black area, and wow, do I love it. It is actually really, really great. If you are a black person like me that grew up in the burbs around majority white people, majority Mexicans, majority whoever, I highly recommend just trying to, spend a week in a city that's like majority black people. Like, just spend a week in, maybe I was going to suggest some, but actually some might make you too scared to and run away. Because I was about to say
Yo.
Atlanta, and then I was like,
I mean, Atlanta's not bad for
yeah,
real.
but I'm like, don't just go to Atlanta if you don't know anybody that's in
Oh yeah, yeah,
Atlanta,
yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
then
Oh. Oh
you
yeah.
being the,
Oh
suburban black kid that you are, suburban black
yeah.
adult now, might wander into something you're not supposed to wander into. So maybe actually make sure you have a tour guide, but go. And like, if you have family out there, like, go spend time with them, like, go do the things. It really can change your life, truly.
Y'all, I had an insurmountable task at hand. I had to single handedly convert her over from the crop top wearing girly she is to this Black Panther you see before you right now. See, we are asynchronous.
This is actually a crop top, but it's fine.
You're not supposed to say that. You're
Hey,
supposed to let the whole
no,
enchilada shebang bang keep going.
no. You're not
Anyways,
gonna sit
I'ma
here and
keep going.
embarrass
I'm
me
not
on
embarrassed.
camera talking about
What
my
we not going
style.
to do is this. I wasn't even talking about the style. I was talking about the colors.
Fine.
I was really talking about the color. You know
Well,
what?
I still love my neutral
We
colors.
will
I am a
discuss this.
neutral color girly.
We
Neutral
will
colors
discuss
down.
that off camera. Black Panther #2.
Why am I number two? Because you're
Because
number one.
exactly, like it gotta be. Oh, sometimes you're gonna be number one. Sometimes I'm number 2. This time I got to number one first. Genuinely,
Sometimes I get to be number one.
yeah,
Really?
really.
Okay.
I might have
See,
come to
girlies.
regret this one day.
See, girlies. Like, sometimes you just gotta accept it. Sometimes you're Black Panther number one, and sometimes you're Black Panther number two, and you gotta be okay with that. Because some of y'all be getting real offended whenever you feel like you're number two, or whenever you feel like the man that you're with does not give their 100% all total focus, and like you are the number one thing in his entire life. Some of y'all feel like that means that, like, he doesn't love you or something, when maybe it just means that, like, he's Black Panther number one right now because, of circumstance, situation, and then you're Black Panther number one sometimes because of circumstance and situation.
She's spitting. She's spitting, y'all.
Just saying.
We can't always be big dogs. Sometimes life just life. But the
It really
point is, when
does.
life gets to life, and you're not supposed to just stay down and let life just step on you. You got to get back up, and you just got to build yourself back up to a certain point, and then you just continue from that. You know what I mean? But sometimes you're number one and I'm number two, and vice versa.
Yeah. I just had to speak to the girlies for a second
And then we got
because
number three right here. We got the number three.
I just had to speak to the girlies for a second because I know sometimes the girlies be like, if that man does not kiss the ground that you walk on and wipe your stank behind,
Mm,
then leave him, sis. He
mm.
showed up on the first date without flowers in the car. Leave that man. Don't even get in the car, sis. Turn around, go back home. And it's like, y'all really out here wishing on fairy tales, hopes, dreams, stars, four-leaf clovers. I don't know.
Mm. I mean, if the girlie said that she's that type of girl, I feel like she's not wrong though.
What do you mean?
Like if she said this is what she expect, right? Or she that
Mm
type. That's what I meant.
hmm.
Like
Mm hmm.
everybody kind of need to know, like when they are around people in general, like what type of
Yeah,
person,
but
kind of,
like,
in a way.
I mean, yes, like people are allowed to have standards and all of that, but I feel like sometimes the girlies' expectations of men are just exaggerative.
Oh no, I agree. Oh, oh
Like
yeah, no,
everybody's
I agree.
allowed to have a
Oh yeah,
preference, of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Like if you believe that you are worth more than the person is giving you, leave.
Mhm,
Obviously.
mhm,
But what I'm saying is most of the time the girlies just be out here wishing on hopes and dreams. And it's like he has to be 6'5" with seven figures and has to kiss the ground that I walk on and spend every waking moment of every day with me because I can't be lonely and not get mad when I spend all of his money and like never want to work and never want to contribute and
mhm,
just sit around. Like the girlies be sometimes wishing on I don't know what. Or maybe we're all just trying maybe they're all just trying to be like city girls and just be on some I don't care if this man really loves me, I just want his money kind of thing or but somehow they also want a man that like super loves them down and would do anything for them. So
mhm.
I'd be real confused. Maybe some of the girls are city girls and some of the girls are just looking for unrealistic men.
All right, like what is a
Nuance.
city girl?
What is a city
I
girl?
mean, we know. I think everybody knows without knowing,
Yeah,
for real. But
but to
like,
define it,
yeah, if we had to define it, really you, because I don't want to
uh
get
huh,
crucified right now. I am
that's
not
fine. The
trying.
girlies can
Hmm.
crucify me. It's all right.
Yeah.
I don't care.
So
And I mean that like so wholeheartedly.
beautiful. Go
Um,
for it.
to classify a city girl is really just a girly that is with men in a transactional basis. It's just because of the money. We may not love each other. We may not want to be in a relationship. It's very like you have to think about, the ones that popularized it anyway, were the city girls, JT and Young Miami, and like they really did preach that, just like oh, like you don't have to be with somebody that you love, like just be with him because he gives you stuff, and like that's good enough and he doesn't have to be your boyfriend. Like even Carisha and like Diddy dating for like so long. She didn't want to be like she was like, "Oh, we're not actually together. Like I'm just with him because like he likes me because I'm pretty and I like him because of his money and that's good enough."
Well, there you have it, folks. That is the.
And I'm not even downplaying it like it's like a super bad thing. Like I understand some girlies are simply so hurt that like that is the only form of love that they think they're ever really going to get and so they're going to settle for it. And I mean,
But let me tell you the crazy part.
sure.
When you start thinking about it, just a little bit more. A lot of relationships are transactional, but we don't like
Yeah.
to. A lot of times, we don't like to admit that part.
Yeah,
And it's
but their transaction I think is just a bit more vapid in that like
mm,
they're translating like okay, I'll be pretty if you like give me money versus like I think our relationship even can be, simplified all the way down to past you and I loving each other as transactional, but like the conditions for me are not just like I'll be pretty and you'll give me money. Like it's much deeper than that in that it's like I don't just want your money. I want like your time and your mind and your love and for you to like hold me and love me and all of that versus like I just want your money. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like
fair. That's fair.
relationships in and of themselves are transactional. However, how transactional they are, what those transactions are, how much you value, like how much you're bargaining in this situation. If it's just sex for money, then like it's just sex for money for you. But I personally believe I am worth a little more than that. And so I would like a little more than that.
There you go. There you have it. Transactional values.
And the girlies that don't believe that they're worth more than that are going to be very mad at me. And that's okay. And that's okay.
You know, it,
Because you're mad at yourself. So I don't really care if you're mad at me.
it's weird because there's like two sides of this in my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a side where like, yeah, like without a doubt I agree with you. And then there's the other side of like the thing that we get out of relationships the most is value.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way we exchange real value between people is through relationships cultivated, right?
Yeah.
Like, is it necessarily wrong that a person just views it for that means as transactional when that is the value that they're seeking, right? And that's the two-sided dragon of it, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we know that there's so much more to relationships, but realistically, we desire the value from other people, and the only way to get that from other people is enter some sort of relationship, friendship,
Yeah.
like
But I
maybe
mean,
like
you're born into relationships. You will have relationships all the
but
time.
but that value extracted from that just because you're born sometimes like that's why we seek better ones and
Mm-hmm.
better situations in a sense because it's like you need that need for that valuable component of these,
Yeah.
like whatever that means. Now that the word value can be defined many different ways, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But like just on its core basis right there. So that's why it's like that's why I don't really shame when girlies go down that road. I
Oh
only
yeah,
shame, but
no.
you know what I'm saying? It's not even a shame thing. Like it's like a weird thing. It's like I only start looking down on the stuff if
Mm-hmm.
it's not working for you. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like if it's really working for you genuinely, it's like as much as some people be like,
I
oh,
argue that it's not really working for anyone. I think that that's my,
it's working for
and
the
I
one.
think I really feel that way because I am a girly, and like I don't actually think that that's working for any of the girlies. I don't. I am of the belief that like the girlies that are like I'm happy living my life like this. I am of the belief that I genuinely think you're lying to yourself.
I don't think they're
And
happy.
that's because I
Nah,
lied to myself for a really, really long time. And so, like, I know what it feels like to lie to yourself. I know what it looks like, and it looks like that. So,
like I don't think they're happy. I don't think anybody would really be happy in like these them type of circumstances, right?
exactly.
But I tell you, like the ones that probably could just get away with it, the ones that just like
Have
model
been
less.
hurt so
No, the
bad.
ones that look like models, ones that look like Kim K's and shit like that. The
Mm.
ones that just naturally
Well,
by the
Kim K
grace.
doesn't even really look
But
like
no,
Kim
you know
K.
what I'm saying. Like when people refer to like some sort of big beauty standard, like
Yeah.
like arguably like a Riri or somebody like that. If
Hmm.
you're just naturally like that, if you just by the grace of the gods or whatever, and makeup and angles and all that extra shit, right? You can
Congratulations, you've won the genetic
those
lottery.
exactly they get away with that, and I feel like dudes get away with that too in
Yeah.
terms of shit too. So I feel like that's a whole pool of people right there that just
Yeah,
do
but
that
I'm
shit,
talking
right?
about regular people.
Oh no, if we're
Because
talking
the
about
people watching this are going to be regular
oh, we're
people.
talking about
I don't think
oh.
Rihanna and Beyonce and Nicki
But
Minaj
regular
is
people can
like,
hit the
oh my
genetic
gosh, let
lottery.
me
No,
look at this podcast.
but check this out. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying regular people can hit that genetic lottery as well. Regular, average, regular people.
Yeah, and that
That doesn't
depends
change.
on, what they do with it over time
Yeah, but
once they become an adult.
yeah, like most times, man, stuff like that don't work out in nobody's favor. Everybody be all messed up in the end of all the city girl activities, or even if you
Absolutely.
do, if you try to be that nigga, man, and if you really not,
Ooh,
aka man,
AKA 99.99% of y'all.
I ain't even gonna say it like that. I'm just gonna say like if you really just don't got the means and you just got that everything else cultivated to be that man, then life gonna be kind of rough for you, dog. I'm not
Just
even
be
judging.
honest with the girlies. Like, just don't try and pretend like you have the money, even though you don't have the money. Because some of these
That ain't
girlies
it.
don't really like y'all,
Oof,
and they really will, knowing that it's your last $10, still spend it on their hair and nails. So please
that's messed up.
don't
That's messed
have some
up.
have some
Yo,
self-respect.
hey,
Have more respect for yourself than to give your last $10 to a girly who wouldn't give her last $10 to you.
we too old to be testing, man. If you feel like you got to test, you might want to rethink the situation, man. For real.
Exactly, because what has all of
Matter of
the
fact, I
experiences
don't
that
think
you've
you.
had up until
But
now
check this
not
out.
been?
I don't think you should necessarily even really be testing. You should allow stuff to really play out, man. Because
Yeah.
even if like for some chance somebody younger watching this right now, man,
Hmm.
like you don't even got to test even there, man. If you really feel like you got to test somebody, then something
Oh,
about that joint is really just telling you
really
like
off.
young. maybe this situation really ain't it right now. Do you
Mm-hmm.
want to? If you want to keep going down that rabbit hole, go ahead. But for real,
It's gonna
the
lead you
signs not
nowhere.
going to be red all the time. Signs might be flashing yellow. Sign might be a quick red flash. Red flash. I mean, stop before you go type of joint. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's up to you just to fill
And
that out a
people
little
need to
bit. You
start
know?
paying attention to those. Like, it's literally a social media trend to ignore red flags, or like red flags that, like, what's a red flag that you ignored in your relationship? Like, it's a it's a trendy, funny, go lucky thing. And because so many people relate to it, so many people relate to the fact that, oh yeah, like I saw this in the beginning, but I just didn't want to pay attention to it because of how much I like them.
Mm.
And that's like a hee hee ha ha moment.
And what's crazy? Like that's only for the girlies. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, probably.
Like because the
Sorry.
dudes, like if you for real, the media that dudes consume for real, if it's not our music or our interests or hobbies or something,
Hmm.
like over the last, I say for real, if I'm being real, like 5 to 6 years, that whole red pill dudes making podcasts and stuff, that whole amount of
Ugh.
content has been right. There's not. I gotta speak on it. Like, give me a moment to
Do
speak on
your
this for a
thing.
second, man.
Soapbox.
Not soapbox, jukebox. We about to spit them old records.
I'm thirsty anyway. Go ahead.
Oh, ooh, she got a drink. Hold on. Oh, we got drinks. Cheers.
Cheers to our first podcast episode.
To numero uno. Mm. Oh, that's liquor.
It is.
Oh, that's liquor. That's liquor.
It's those buzz balls.
It's not bad, but it's just like
You know it's a drink.
it's liquor.
You know it's a
Liquor.
drink. It's not like, oh my gosh, this doesn't even taste like alcohol. It's alcohol in
Hmm.
there.
Like red pill. I mean, when I was a little bit younger, when I was a couple years younger, red pill started making so much sense when you like at a state where it's like I'm trying to get more money, I'm trying to be better, trying to do better.
And the girlies just keep playing you to your face.
It's not even
And
just
that's
about the
really what sends
girlies,
most of the men over
but
there, is the heartbreak.
you are 100% right. It's not just the girlies, but that's one of the biggest things that send dudes to that route. Like they want
Mm-hmm.
to get more girls. Like not your average dude's life. I'm saying your average everyday dude, man. For real, they don't got it like that.
No.
Like the dudes that are lucky enough to have girls and the dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
We had to try over and over, fail, try over and over, and even people be like, "This nigga talking shit," but like it's real too. It's like most every single nigga right here just took a L, yo. You ain't just come out this joint with all W's, bro. You probably got some secrets or some in that ancient chamber like Harry Potter, for real.
And I agree, because there's no way that all the girlies are out here like going through all of these like relationships and breakups and ups and downs and all this stuff, and all the guys are just getting W's. That's not even
Nah,
possible. If the girlies are sad and they're crying because their relationships aren't working, you can only imagine that the opposite sex is going through the exact same thing.
man, and it's like I'm not
Have
even.
some sympathy, people.
Yeah, and that heartbreak that'll make a man try to change. So when you see red pill, like the things that they talk about, like being a better man, getting more money, staying up on your health and fitness, like even
It
some of
doesn't
like
sound bad. It
even
doesn't
like
sound
some of
bad
the
at
things to
all.
do when you dating, like out here now, right? Like in this current moment, like the shit that they talk about generally, genuinely, really ain't bad shit. Now the issue is, yo,
The way that they say it,
nah,
who
this
they
how dudes.
say it
Nah,
to.
nah, hold up. I disagree with that because it's dudes talking to dudes for the most part.
A lot of these red pill content, like what is it, Fresh and Fit or whatever, they have
Nah,
girlies on the opposite
all
side
right.
all the
I'll
time,
be
and
real.
they are really up, have those girls up there to embarrass them, and
I'll
it
be
is
real.
embarrassing.
I'll be
It is
real.
rude. When they had Candace Owens come in there to debate those regular girlies, Candace Owens is a paid professional debater, like she's what? And then those girls, those poor girls, they were going to be roasted alive, and they knew that. And they invited them on there anyway,
Hey,
and that was
hey,
wrong.
the clicks
And that was
for the clicks.
wrong.
But you know what? But on the real stuff, it doesn't matter what's like right or wrong in these moments. This is
Yeah.
like to me, even though it's like really exaggerated, that's a representation of like what it is right now. Like for every 8 girls that's like that, you got that one Candace Owens or those 2 master degree
Yeah.
holders. Like that's really what it
Master
is.
degree holder, by the way.
Mm-hmm. She's smart. She a smart cookie. Me on the other hand, I'm a smart lazy cookie, but we make it work. We make it work somehow.
Absolutely.
But no, like I think that's the thing. Like and those things you could just look at it for like the entertainment factor, but in reality, for most dudes, that's what they weighing through. If they want to find those type of girls that are smart or whatever, got a decent head on their shoulders, they gotta go through 8 of them,
Oh
and
gosh.
you gotta
Yeah.
be lucky if those even turn their way for real, for real.
Yeah.
Like
But I will
on some
say that
real
like the
shit.
girlies are going through like the same thing. Like I said, like the girlies are kissing a bunch of frogs in order to get to the princes for real. But at the same time, I do think that like girlies can be kind of vicious to guys that they don't really like.
That's what I'm saying. And every
That
dude
is
felt that
true.
before. I feel like every dude felt that before, at least on some level.
But
On
I think
some
they
level.
really think it is like once some girlies go through a certain level of heartbreak, then it's just like every guy is kind of whatever. But actually, I actually,
Uh,
ooh, unfortunately, I had to like self realize something right now that made me a bad person.
do you want to tell the podcast what you realized?
Yeah, it's okay though,
Ooh,
because I'm getting better. Like, I really
this
am
is
getting better as a
good.
person. I am
Ooh.
growing as a person, but I can also
Mhm.
look back and
Mhm.
recognize the fact that
Mhm.
I did not go through like some major heartbreak before I started just like breaking the hearts of some guys for
Mhm.
like I remember this. I was this one guy I dated in high school. I'm not going to say anything more identifiable than that because I don't want to identify this man. I genuinely broke up. I broke up with him after a few months, and he was like, "What? Like I thought we were gonna be together. Like we had talked so much about it. Like I really love you." And I was just like, "Yeah, I just got bored." And I told him that. I
Hey.
told him that.
Ooh,
I am
right?
so positive that that is probably
Hey,
his like
yo.
villain origin story. Like
That's fucked up. I could
I
have. How
know
old were
this.
y'all? How old were y'all?
I was a freshman and he was a sophomore in high school. And like I know this man to this day. And like I remember I talked to the last time I talked to him I was in college. But I remember being like, "Oh my gosh, you really turned into a demon." Like he had like just been sleeping with girls for fun, like he didn't take relationships seriously anymore. Like
You were that
I'm
villain
so
origin story. But at the end of the day,
and so
man,
that's what
well,
I'm
hold up,
saying.
though.
No, but that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that like sometimes girlies really are just like we can be a little evil. Like that was just so unnecessary. And I'm not the only one. Like I am not alone in my thought process. And you all on the internet might be like, "Oh, like girl, that was just you. You were a bitch." I know y'all. I know y'all and y'all know me. Let's stop playing like we don't know a girl that's like been like, "Oh yeah, like I was bored with him and there was somebody else better." You and I both know that that has been the reason why you yourself or one of your friends has broken up with the guys that they were with.
Boom, boom, boom. Crazy stuff, man.
Hey,
Crazy stuff. They.
sorry, I just had to get that out to the girls. I love y'all. We
Mhm.
can do better.
But let's get back on the red pill
Go ahead.
soapbox for a second. Like I really think that you got to take that information with a certain lens. Like,
Yeah,
you got to take it with a filter for real. Because if you really take everything internally, really, this your life gonna look. It might be successful if you really apply some of the things that you can get from the red pill. But if you really want to take that whole mentality and then couple that with that alpha shit, man, like, all
you're
right, let
gonna
me
turn into
knowledge, man. That alpha shit was based on the like observing wolf packs and how they go around socially and gather socially. That was an actual scientific research experiment, Like there that alpha shit, bro, beta shit. There is a social hierarchy. I'm not even gonna ignore that,
yeah.
And it's easier to say those things to organize and categorize. But
Hmm.
like, oh, there's a reason why alphas are just, so to speak, rare, Like
Yeah.
everybody is not the fucking guy. We're all main characters, but those guys, be the guy in your own right. And then you might be that guy type shit. That's what I think.
Really though.
For real. Like that's what I really think.
Really though, if you really stand in who you are and are confident in who you are, that is one of the most attractive things for women. Like we love that. We love that, I think, also because we like want that. Like, especially the girlies that are confident. Why would they want to be with a man that's not confident? And even the girlies
Ooh,
that aren't confident, why would they want to be with someone else that's also not confident?
ooh, that's a
That's the
ooh.
blind leading the blind. Why would we want that? We don't want that.
It's crazy when you start thinking about it. But I think that confidence for real is one of those things where it like permeates through every area of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't cultivated like a positive sense of confidence
Mm-hmm.
in a healthy way, then it's like a misunderstanding, you
Mm-hmm.
know. It looks different, you know what I mean? Like, so if
Mm-hmm.
you're not confident in yourself, like, are you going to be confident in that confident partner you pick? Are you going to
Yeah.
be confident in that confident choice that you're going to go into work in that field
And that's why
you're in?
people say, like, you should, before you can love anyone else, you should love yourself, or you only love other people as much as you love yourself, or you need to focus on self love. That's why.
But people take that a little bit too far, and it's right, but there's a balance. I think everything
Mm-hmm.
lies in this little tether of balance, in a sense, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because though these are right, you have to love yourself. There's a point where people get caught in this perpetual cycle of continuously just loving on themselves. And so when they try to love another person, which looks very different from loving yourself,
Wow, so different.
you know, they struggle and they ultimately fail, and then they go back to what is comfortable, loving themselves. But
Yeah.
it's like
And
you've
that turns
mastered
people
that.
away from relationships, unfortunately.
Yeah,
But
but it's like they don't
mm,
understand. Like, you loving yourself, you're always supposed to do that. So when you're around other people and you're trying to cultivate something with other people, you got to
mm,
practice loving other people, which looks completely different from how you love yourself.
yeah.
See, people are not taking themselves out of that equation of like whatever friendships and relationships and acquaintanceships. It's just
Hmm.
like they haven't taken themselves out of this puzzle. It's like you are a piece of it now. You are
Yeah.
not the thing. And once you get to that point, now you can see like the better ones flourish out of that. But most people don't get out of that. They get caught in this perpetual cycle of healing journey and for guys development and getting to
Yeah.
that bag. It's like, bruh, like it's always gonna be here. Like, shorty,
And
your
then
like your looks and this makeup and the foods and the places you like, but they'll still be here. Matter of fact, I argue they might get better if you just chill out for a little
and
bit,
the
you
most
know?
unfortunate thing about it is that those mindsets literally are opposite of one another. They
Uh-huh.
like separate us so much, and it makes guys go deeper down this rabbit hole, and it makes girls go deeper down that rabbit hole,
And they go
and we're
left and
going in
right.
different directions. And so it just sows division so badly. It's like it was designed by Satan himself. Division.
Division, schism.
Division.
You must be the Antichrist.
Must.
You hear that, boy? I smite thee. Mm. Let me stop. Yo. But no, for real, it's just like one of those weird realizing moments where it's like, damn, this shit is like everybody says pick a side, but I've been
Hmm.
like the objective middleman for like my whole life. I pick my side,
Hmm.
you
As you should.
know, like to align with something. I need to gauge. I need to see what both sides are talking about.
As you
But I
should.
always pick my side at the end,
Hmm.
first and foremost, you know. But when it comes to people, man, it's like it's just very interesting because I've really been noticing just like after the whole isolation thing, when
Hmm.
people came out more anxious because they've been by themselves and they haven't been
Oh,
around people for so long and been around normal stuff for so long, and
more
normal
people come.
entertainment got so weird and depraved because people were away from people for so long,
More
yo.
people came out of it with like social anxiety than ever.
Yeah.
Like people were depressed more than ever. That's the reason why BetterHelp was
Oh
popping
man, BetterHelp was
and
aggressive as
took
hell.
off as a company because so many people were like, wow, I need therapy because I'm really messed up. Like it really messed us up as a country. I know for a fact. I don't know if the world was as dramatic as Americans are
Hmm.
about it, or like exactly what their policies were, because some of the countries were quarantined way harder than us, and others were quarantined like way less. I don't know. So,
But
hey.
but it's just like that whole period brought about this what I call like this craziness moment, like this
Mhm.
shift in everything, where it's like everybody's questioning goddamn
Everything.
every goddamn thing. When
Especially themselves. But I mean,
yeah,
people always
especially
question
themselves.
themselves. But I think nowadays more people than ever are like out openly being like, I am questioning myself. I am in therapy. I am trying to make myself a better person. I'm trying to work on the things that are hurting me, or like, you know what I mean? People are more open to admitting that, because I think back in the day everybody was just walking around pretending to be their best selves at all times,
Yeah.
and that is not healthy. So I'm glad we're here now.
Honestly, and it's like one of those things where it's like how long, or I feel like, it got trendy just to go on this in a way, in a sense too,
Mhm.
because in my head, healing is not necessarily like this solo journey,
Mhm.
because there's so much, there's people in your life, so it can't necessarily be that. But I do believe you're
Ooh.
supposed to go through the brunt of it by
Mm,
yourself, right?
yeah.
Now, the issue is, like I say, it got trendy because though we talk about what has helped us,
Mhm.
in a way, I do think that it is because we hear it so much, because
Mhm.
we see it in our little reels and our
Mhm.
shorts and like movies and TV shows. Like
It
it
has
muddles
become
it,
trendy.
yeah, it became trendy to the point where, like, I genuinely hope that everybody that says that type of stuff, like,
Mhm.
are really going down that pathway,
Truly. Like, I
you
really hope
know?
that the girlies that are like self-care influencers and stuff like that genuinely are doing that and inspiring other people to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope that that is the case and that people aren't just, pretending to love themselves and secretly not loving themselves.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, I think there's a lot of people out there that are secretly pretending to love themselves while not
And I
doing
think,
that.
like, you could tell if somebody is really going down that path is when they demonstrate or show to you in conversation or in action like a
Yeah.
higher awareness or a higher perspective of a lot of different things, or just
And you
even
will
just,
definitely find those people.
yeah, like you'll know, like that's the best way I say it. Like, we've been around people so much, we all of us have been around people so much, so it's
We
like
know the
you'll
people
know
whose confidence is genuine and the people whose are just kind of putting themselves out there like you are.
exactly,
Like, not like
exactly.
you are, not to call you out, viewers. Dang, that
Oh,
was hurtful.
you're
I
mean.
am. I'm sorry.
Say
I'm
sorrier.
sorry.
Okay, say it again.
I feel like actually it's been so interesting. I think ever since moving out here, I've realized that, like, as a Californian, as a Southern Californian, maybe, apparently I am just passive aggressive.
Oh, y'all passive aggressive as hell.
Apparently we
Y'all
so
passive
they're
aggressive as
like
a
aggressive
motherfucker.
aggressive. Like a lot of East Coasters
Mm,
are aggressive aggressive. They'll just be like, "All right, well, you want to say something? Well, now you're punched in the face and here we are."
damn. All right, all
But
right. Not
like
all of us. We ain't gonna
Californians
just straight
are
punch you in the face yet.
yet. But yeah, no, Californians we're much more, or maybe that's just a girl thing. But I really
No,
think it may just
it's a
maybe.
reason thing, man. Cause like shit, the girls down here, if it was a bunch of SoCal girls that got into anything with a
Yeah.
DC or Maryland or
Oh, I'd be
even
scared for
or
them.
Southern Virginia. I don't know about y'all Nova ones, but Southern
I'd be
Virginia.
scared for them.
Oh
I
shit!
really genuinely would. Even like, and people would say like maybe it's just because you didn't grow up in like a majority black area, but like I would even argue in like majority black LA or Long Beach, they would have like much more of a chance.
Oh
I
no, they
believe
would.
than like
That they
me,
oh for sure.
but
Oh
they would have
yeah,
much
yeah,
more of a
yeah,
chance.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
still actually think that the ones from DC and the ones that grow up in a thick all black population like this one, to end up having a real thick coating around their heart, and
Well,
they
you got to
really
think,
will beat your ass.
for real,
Please
just
be
really
careful.
growing up in my city, even though this is the nation's capital, but everybody's like, "Oh, you have the monument, you have the White House, things must be so good." I'm like, "Yo, yeah."
They
Like
don't know
growing
nobody
up,
from DC. That's really what it is. If that's what they think, they don't know anyone from here.
like for real, like this city ain't. it's city rough. Like I'm not even going to sit here and try to glorify nothing, man. But it really is. It means something when you make it past a certain point
Mm,
living in this city, and it could really happen to anybody. We even though we make fun of like the nerds here and all that, there's nerds that grow up in the hood. The hood's still the fucking hood and shit.
absolutely.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like even for like where I grew up, like it's a neighborhood. Like I when I was born, like it was way worse than where I lived, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like that's the parallel right there. We right next to it. We feel that shit. It's right down the street from us. Like shit is so small. We the small big city. So when shit and the black community small in the small big city, it's not chocolate city. It's like a swirl. It's a mix. It's a cauldron pot, like a witch's
Now,
potion, a witch's brew and shit. You know what I'm
now.
saying? Now, of course,
It
but
was much blacker back in the day.
when I was growing up, it was much blacker.
Hmm.
Like you know what I'm saying? But like but
Gentrification.
but with black people, and I'm sad to say, like if it's not black people with money, if it's black lower income communities, it come violence, it come crime, it come with all that extra shit. This,
And you see that right there is where I'm gonna let you get on that soapbox and I'm gonna sit down because they not gonna want to hear that from me. They're not gonna want to hear that from a girl from the burbs. So I'm not gonna say that. He said that.
like
I didn't
no,
say that.
it just
Don't
really
be mad at
is.
me in the
Like
comments. It
that's
was
why
him.
honest to God, because it's like when so it's like if you see a dude out in the burbs doing perpetrating that shit for real and just acting like that, moving like I wear glasses and shit, motherfuckers gonna think I'm a nerd by all intents and purposes. I probably knock your ass the fuck out. I don't even give a shit. I do whatever I gotta do. But the point is,
And
it's
will.
like but the point is it's just like, yo, like that shit is not cool. So if a dude openly doing that shit around a suburban area, like I'm not like cities, they all know the feeling the same. We just talk different, but everything
Mm.
move the same. It don't matter the city and shit.
That's why you like you guys have so much respect for like New Yorkers and like
Or it's like it's like it's an unwritten mutual respect for real. It
yeah,
really is like one of those things where it's like you know. If you don't, you don't.
yeah,
If you don't know, don't speak on it type thing.
exactly.
If you're
And I
not
don't
in it,
know.
don't speak on it. But if you know what's going on, if you know type shit.
Yeah.
And to other people like, what the fuck do you mean? No, you know. I'm like,
Exactly. And like I'm learning like through his experience and through my experience moving here, but there's a lot of things I still do not know. Because if you know, you know, and I don't know.
yeah. If you know, you
And
know,
that's okay.
and you don't know, and it's good to
And I
not
know
know.
I
Like
don't
for
know.
real, it is good to not know for
To
real.
not know some of it.
It
Because some of it seems traumatic.
like if there's nobody if somebody like is still in the lifestyle of that sort or it came out or something like that, I guarantee you they're not going to talk about it with all this like glitter in their eyes and stuff. It's
Exactly.
gonna be like
There's
some
gonna be some pain in their voice and like some hurt because even when you talk about it and like you are not the most like breakdown
yo
cry emotional person,
yeah
but when
nah
you talk about, you know, like your life and like the things that you've experienced growing up here, it is when you are at your most vulnerable when we're conversing. Like
yeah
that's when it really touches you. And so that means like whatever it is, like it was really like deep for you. And like when I talk about my, you know, when I think about my like childhood and the things that I went through growing up, it's a lot of like happy moments and happy memories. And when you talk about yours, it's a lot of like hurt and it's a lot of like pain. And I recognize that and I'm appreciative that you know, share those things with
oh
me.
yeah for sure
But it is
it's a
something that I do
parallel
not envy.
like y'all like if this was like we were a dog couple, this is like golden retriever on a mill. I'm giving like goddamn
It's black cat energy, really.
yeah. I'm not
Like
even a
not
dog.
even
It's
a dog.
black cat. Meow.
Not even a dog. He's a black cat. I am a golden retriever.
Yeah, I'm like Salem.
And it's funny because out in the world, I actually portray myself very often, or have in the past portrayed myself very often as a black cat
Hmm.
because I thought that it would like make me safer for people to not know that I'm actually a golden retriever.
Yeah,
And so it would help me like people not mess with me. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
But
Like
people don't
they
mess with
say
you
that you
now.
come off as that's a lie. That's a lie.
All right, look,
There
I'm
are a
trying to
lot
be
of people
nice.
that have tried to play me in my face.
Okay, you right. You right.
And those people will be dealt with. But yeah, no. It's I used to act like a black cat to scare people off so that way they didn't know I was actually a golden retriever. And I think also it has to do with the fact that my, what is it, rising sign, the one that like people see you as, like the world sees you as, is a
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. And we all know Sagittarius women.
There's nothing wrong with y'all. I
Not
fuck with y'all
no.
Sagittarius.
But you like y'all
All of
crazy.
y'all.
Y'all little.
No, all of
Y'all
y'all.
little.
Hey,
And you
look,
know you are. Just a little.
Sagittarius.
Love you.
Sagittarius. But I love y'all Sagittarius.
Hmm.
I'm a Libra, so everybody slander the fuck out of me. I'm waiting for it.
I don't even feel like people slander Libras. I feel like
Hell
people
yeah.
genuinely just forget about them.
That damn
Like
it, that feels like slander right there.
when
See?
I'm naming
Genuinely.
the signs, if like before you and I were together, if I was naming the signs, I genuinely would have went to
Wait a
Virgo
minute. Wait a minute.
straight to
Wait.
Scorpio. I'm not gonna lie. Most people just
See?
forget about y'all.
The forgetting is the slander.
Why? That's not
It
slanderous. That just means
is.
you're not
It
memorable.
is the slander. That is the slander. Because I be
That was
damned.
rude. That was rude.
I'll be
Okay, fine.
damned. We are
Fine.
memorable.
Yes, you are.
Every last one of us.
Yes, you are.
I will speak on the behalf of the Libra convention and
Give them
congregation.
a few examples of Libras because you know multiple.
Lil Wayne, Eminem, Will Smith, Zac Efron.
There's a few rappers, several
Yeah.
rappers actually, that have your birthday. Who has your birthday? Isn't it like G Herbo?
G Herbo. Yeah, he really has my birthday, October 8th. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Woo. But yeah, like, we do things, but
Hmm.
Doja Cat, goddamn it.
That is that. Now that is ooh,
Like,
that's how you know. Like that's a big dog to pull out as part of your like sign. Doja Cat.
yeah.
That's wow.
Shit, man, I could keep that going, but right now the list is escaping me right now. But I'm
Okay.
saying, but now people who slander us, it's like either we're
Yeah.
forgetting or we're getting slandered for
Yeah.
real.
I think that, and it's funny because my actual sun sign is Scorpio, and we don't get slandered. People just think that we're
I
like
get slandered too.
people. Actually,
Nah,
no, that's
yeah, I
fair.
get
People
slandered
think
too.
that we're
Shit.
evil, but like I
Yeah,
don't really fall into that category. I
use
think
a mother.
most people don't think
So
I'm evil. Am I? Was I for a little bit there?
she lying.
Absolutely,
She lying.
absolutely. I'm lying about that.
You
Exactly,
was a
I'm not lying
Scorpio.
about that.
You know you a
And
little evil.
so
You know you a little
I know
evil.
I'm a little evil. I know that. I know that. But that's why I'm working on myself. Thanks. But yeah, no. But most people just say the only thing that people say about us is like, oh, they're like mysterious and guarded and they're like really vengeful and they just really like sex. And it's like 2 out of 3 of those ain't even true for me. We don't have to discuss which
We
ones.
don't have to. We don't have to. Because I was like,
Don't.
because I put all the
Move on.
combinations in my. All right. Anyways, we're gonna move on from that one. But it's not because of your rising sign. I just really just think, man, not everybody.
I was
Everybody.
putting on a front for a long time there.
Yeah, I was just a mad, sad kid growing up. To be
Yeah.
honest with you, like, there's no other way for me to put it. Like, I was just mad and sad. At first, I was sad, but then I started reading and looking around and learning. I got mad,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, mad because was I mad at myself? Yeah. Was I mad at everything around me? Yeah. I was mad because I was learning so much so quickly, and it's like I couldn't do shit about it. The only thing I could do
Because you were just
was,
a little boy.
and just even growing up, even as a teen, you couldn't do too much about certain
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't really
But I say
start
that
getting control.
because you started having those realizations when you were very young.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
I think younger than most people
Oh
to
yeah.
question the world around them. You
Oh
started
yeah.
questioning the world around you when you were like 4 or 5.
It's,
Like
and
that
it sounds
was,
crazy. So people are like, what do you mean? I'm like, y'all, outside of me growing up, because like, if y'all don't know, like, I'm a gamer, but I'm a real big gamer because I've been playing games ever since 3. Like, when my third birthday, got the PlayStation 1, got this game called Rayman and like Sesame Street and another Japanese ass game. I don't even know, Jumping Flash and shit. I used to play all that shit because I have no siblings, man. My dad wasn't there. It was just a single parent household, me and my mom and shit. Mom was working. Grandparents picked me up. I had literally, gap age, generation
He's an
gaps
only
big.
child,
Only
everyone.
child, yo. Only so I had to occupy myself with something in the games. But when the games were off, like you just kind of look around a lot and you're just by yourself a lot. So you kind of just realize stuff quick. I mean, real quick. Like it didn't take me long to realize, damn, my dad not here. Where's my dad? At first, I was like, he coming back, and then after a certain point, after a certain day, after a certain month, year, you realize, oh, this motherfucker ain't coming back.
And I think that you have that experience, particularly not just being an only child, but being an only child raised by a single parent. Because a lot of only children that are raised by like both of their parents tend to be like they weren't necessarily like left alone a lot. They
Yeah,
were coddled. There was always someone with them. There was always someone that cared for them and cared about them because there were two parents, and back in the time where we were growing up, it was actually possible to be, someone be a stay at home,
right.
whatever, and actually live a good life. This is 2024 economy, but
Yeah,
back in the day, that
yeah.
really was the thing. And those only children that were raised by both parents tend to come out, I think, a bit more,
Well rounded.
yes, but also a little impatient and selfish.
You think so?
Yeah.
Sure. I think I'm a little
Because they
impatient.
just didn't, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
because
Like,
like y'all just didn't have to like share, y'all didn't
oh yeah,
have to like
yeah,
deal
of
with
course,
people.
yeah.
You could just like go home if you wanted to and not deal with anything. And like obviously us with siblings, like we couldn't just like not deal with anyone, like we
But
had to talk to
it's
our
like that
siblings.
catch 22 is like, yeah, we go home. Yeah, we could just like, yeah, I don't gotta be here, go home. But to what though?
Apparently to your thoughts.
Yeah, sometimes some family dynamics allow for that. Like it's not like my like in my immediate family, it wasn't until I was about damn like 9, 10 when my grandparents kind of like moved in with me.
Hmm.
It wasn't a reverse of, oh, I moved with them, they
Yeah.
moved with us, and that changed the dynamic even more. Like now it's like,
Were y'all in that same house you're currently in?
yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah. It was like to me I
So
was
once upon a time there you were like there was more room in here. And now
once
there's not.
yeah, they took my mom, took my old room. My grandparents took my mom old room. I got like the little linen closet that we made into a room.
Oh,
So like for me, it was like my world was low key, honestly, getting smaller on my scope. And
yeah.
then it was like
As
that
you
was
were getting bigger.
yeah, and this was just all in the house. I didn't even start talking about outside because it wasn't always all bad outside. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun times, a lot of bullshit, a lot of like, oh, that was a crazy memory. But it was a lot. That was a lot of the moments that really hit home happened outside just as much as it happened inside my
Mm,
life. So it was like it was real tough for real, and it was like being a boy surrounded by a lot of women too, to try to define yourself at what it means to be a man.
yeah.
It was like one of them hard ass things where you constantly hit your head upside the wall, like for real.
Mm,
You really genuinely do. And then you got to a point where you're comfortable and confident enough to like face like that shit that you just really need to,
yeah.
whether that's a like an insecurity or just something,
And that's great
you
that you
know.
got to that point like early because you had that time alone with yourself to think. Because I know me personally, I did
Oh,
not
I didn't
get
get
to
to that
that
point
point.
early. I'm just now getting to this point recently in life. You
Oh,
know what I'm saying?
really?
No, like I got to the realizations, but I was going down a spiral. Like I was going down a mental spiral. The more that I
That is
learned,
true. You did go down a spiral up
I
until like
spiraled up until like 20
24.
for real, up until like 20, yeah, 24, 25. I was really from like after I got put out of kicked out of college, like from 19 to 24 ish,
Yeah.
spiraling like a motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie to
That's
you.
why I said 24 because I remember 19 or 24 was a woof.
Oh man, that was a woof. That's when a lot of shit in my life was going down, and it
Yeah.
was crazy. It was like life didn't. You wouldn't expect life like that from me, type shit. Trust me. Oh God, you would not, because I didn't
Y'all
even
looking at
expect
this
it from me.
man.
Like, yo,
Y'all looking at this man right now like, oh, haha, he wouldn't do nothing.
man, I sometimes I wonder like how the fuck do I get in certain situations and stuff. That is for
You
another
put yourself there.
podcast episode though. I'll go into a little bit without,
Yeah.
you know.
We need to have one of your friends on the podcast for that one.
Oh man, it can't even
to
be
talk.
couldn't even be Heavy. There was a point that like, in that point I didn't talk to Heavy from 19 to 24. Heavy wasn't there at all.
And that's hilarious because he's like one of your closest friends now.
Yeah, but he's always been there when I was growing up and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But that whole period, no. Oh, it was a whole different people. They don't even talk to none of those people no more. They're gone.
Oh,
Yeah, like I don't talk to none of those people no more, yo.
I assume that was a personal growth thing.
Yeah, it had been
Yeah.
personal growth or God knows how what
Where you would be now.
mentally or literally where would I be?
I'm glad that you're not there
Oh
because
yeah,
I'm glad that you're here because, you know, you and I get to be here together.
oh yeah, man. But
Hmm.
it sucks. But it's happy, but it's like one of those. I'm happy I'm here, but it's like damn,
Yeah.
woo, shit. But we're here though.
Yeah.
We got a podcast and a half a wait dog.
I know. We've been at it for 55 minutes.
So when we get to like an hour, we can call it quits.
Yeah. We can call it quits here even.
You sure?
Yeah. I think that this was great.
Awesome. I thought it was great too. I was getting into it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Do you just want to keep going?
Now let's just call it quits here. We could call it quits.
End on a high note?
Yeah, let's end on a high note.
Let's do it. Okay.
Yeah.
We should do like an outro.
Um.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. Hit that button. Click that bell for notice. And my girlfriend's gonna make sure our handles are in the descriptions and
I
all
will
that
do
good
that.
stuff. And follow us and tune in. And thank you for watching, man. There's just way more to come. Way more candid conversations.
Candid
I'm
casual
kind of
conversations.
intoxicated. Usually I ain't this intoxicated, but this was
And that's
chill.
funny
I know, right? I'm on camera,
because I don't
but
think that most people would assume that you're intoxicated from the way that you speak.
oh no, y'all! I've been high and drunk this whole goddamn day. It's Saturday. I've been enjoying ourselves. We got off to a rough start in the morning, but we bounced back like
Yeah.
chiroprac. And
And it's not just him. I am also I've been drinking. I had my edibles earlier.
mhm.
I am quite crossfaded as well. This is just how we talk. So
Honestly, this really is. We don't want y'all to think we doing this for the camera for real.
not at
Like,
all.
cause genuinely,
We just thought it would probably be pretty cool to record this because
yeah.
we have some really great conversations.
Yeah, and eventually we're gonna have more people on it, different topics,
Hmm.
different things. But we just wanted to bring candid conversation to the internet. Like
For
a
real.
lot of podcasts have all these questions and interviewers, but like for us, it's like we're talking, and every time we talk, you're gonna hear something different. It's not
Hmm.
like we're going to just keep saying the same thing over and over.
Oh my
I promise
gosh, the
you.
podcast that will just be like guys versus girls, this versus that,
That
and it's
shit.
like all the just does
Yeah.
body count mean anything?
Oh
Of like
God.
couple podcasts where they're like just trying to give advice, but they're just saying the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah, no, we're not here for any of that. We are actually open-minded people who genuinely like to think. So we'll be here thinking. If you all would like to come and listen to, what we think and possibly tell us what you think. Tell us what you thought
Oh
about
yeah,
this in the
man.
comments. Tell us, was there anything that we said that you were like, I can't believe that they would say that? Or anything that you just really agree with? We would love to hear some feedback. Positive and negative engagement is engagement, and no one's internet comments could hurt me
But now
enough to
part of the
where
reason we
I'm
having a conversation is for y'all too. So yeah, just engage if y'all want to,
engage.
if y'all like, or even if y'all have something to say. Because for real,
Exactly.
this is the whole point. Like, let's really talk.
Let's really
Let's
talk.
really just talk about this shit. I know some of y'all probably got a lot of stuff on your mind, and the
Hmm.
next time we
If
come
you
on,
disagree with us, just tell us. Say that. Say it with your
yeah.
whole chest too. And I want to hear your argument. And if it's good enough, I'll change my whole mind.
And guess
Like
what?
I
We're
am
gonna
an
announce the
open
theme for the
person.
next episode. What's up
Mm.
with this damn election? What's up with this Trump and Kamala joint? Like for real, I'm not being biased towards anything. What's really up with that joint?
An absolute mess. An absolute
I don't know
mess.
what to say, but we gonna get into it the next time because that's a lot of time we gotta spend on that one. It's a lot of time. A lot.
It's just, I'm tired thinking about it.
Me
I'm going to
too.
bed. Love y'all. Thanks for watching.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Next time. Deuces.